Welcome back everybody to another All Things Nerd video. As always, my name is Nathan. Guys, we are very excited because just in a few days we are going to get early access to World of Warcraft Midnight. I am excited for the expansion and I hope you are as well. But the Midnight expansion doesn't officially drop till the 3rd of March, which is next week, I believe. But we have pre-purchase, so we actually get the early access to it, which I'm very excited about, and hopefully get some things in early so I can show you guys a lot of cool stuff. Now, of course, our focus of this channel and will be World of Warcraft Out of Bounds content, and I'm excited to do Out of Bounds content. But today, before we are so close to the Midnight launch, I want to explore my top 5, I guess you could say, dungeons or raids or whatever you want to say that I'm most excited for in terms of exploring, breaking out of bounds. I'm excited to see the challenges that Blizzard has put up in order for me to conquer, as they definitely went all in with the War Within expansion. Some of the dungeons are ridiculously hard to escape out of, and they've almost made it even impossible, which is kind of sad to me in a sense, because I wish they would embrace the exploration out of bounds community a little more, but unfortunately they don't, and so we're just gonna have to make do with what we have. Now let's start out. Obviously right in front of me we have the new it's the old Stratholme, but what they've done is they've covered it in red smoke. Now I'm not going to spend too much time here because I've already made 2 or 3 past videos on this place, but because we are out of bounds already, we can fly directly in here and I can show you guys what is left and what is gone. Now, as you can see, some of Stratholme is here, but I wanted to start in Stratholme because I wanted to say that I am very excited, and hopefully this is going to be a number 5 pick. They're going to revamp Stratholme in the future, especially with the Northrend expansion coming out next year up in the they're going to be revamping Northrend, and with the Last Titan, and I think Midnight is going to be obviously building up to that, but I'm hoping that we get a Stratholme revamp or some sort of raid or dungeon out of it. And obviously you can still do the original one, but I'm hoping that Blizzard will take this to another step and that they will revamp this dungeon or turn it into possibly a raid. And what would be really interesting is because a lot of people, think that the original entrance to Naxxramas was right here because of the floating Nax that was right here at the end of the dungeon originally. Obviously, we know that the Naxxramas entrance never happened in terms of Stratholme, but I think it would be neat if they in the future brought that back to actually include that in the dungeon or raid revamp. So maybe they turn it into like a mega raid where you go through Stratholme, the different layers, and then you actually end up in Nax. Maybe, who knows? I don't know what they got plans for the future. I'm sure it's going to be stuff big like that. But I know we're probably all tired of Kel Kuthad's return, as he's been returning like all the time. And so I know a lot of people are like, oh, here we go again. So yeah, but that's going to be number 5. Hopefully we get to see a Stratholme revamp for the Last Titan. But yeah, it's still cool to come in here and to see kind of what they're doing with the place. And I hope that we get to see that. So that is my number 5. All right, so the next dungeon that I'm actually excited to do is right here, which is the Windrunner Spire, because I'm excited to see if we can get out of bounds to see the Eversong Woods that's been revamped around us, to see if there's any secrets or anything we can find possibly, because I feel this dungeon right here is going to be a big challenge to get out of, because Blizzard usually in these type of dungeons, which I'm guessing is going to be outdoors because of the layout here, it's going to be very similar to, if you remember in well, where am I right here? Okay, going to Draenor in Talador. Oh, sorry, not Talador. Spires of Arok. There is the Skyreach dungeon. That dungeon was extremely difficult to OB, and credit to True Hero, who spent a lot of time for me and for the community to find out a way to break out. and I really appreciate him in that. So thank you, True Hero. Again, you're awesome, dude. I don't know what I'd be without you in OOB, but I'm very excited to do this dungeon because I know it's probably going to be a challenge. Now, with all this being said, I'm sure Blizzard is also like, write that down, Nathan's looking to OOB things. I hope they aren't, but you know, it is what it is. They're going to put obstacles in our way. We get around them, right? We still explore, we still have fun, and that's what this channel is about. But if we were to take off our Sneaky Bright Potion, we can obviously see the revamp Eversong Woods and the darkness surrounding it with the whole midnight storm cloud thingy going on in the background here. So very excited for the revamped version of this. So yeah, that's going to be my number 4. All right, so my next dungeon that I'm excited to potentially OOB and get out of bounds, but also to have fun in doing it, is the Den of Nol Lorac, which is actually over here in Zulamon. And I'm very excited for it because I think it's going to be a challenge to get out. Now, I will tell you, I actually participated in the midnight beta. That's where I did make some earlier videos on this. And here goes the entrance to this place over here. It just looks way cool. I mean, look at this. Look at this thing. How cool is that? You know what this reminds me of? The cave you enter in Aladdin, right? Anybody remember playing Kingdom Hearts or the Aladdin game? Remember the cave? And I don't remember what the cave is called exactly off the top of my head. But that, I don't know, it just reminds me of that, going into like that Jafar type of look you get from this. It just looks really cool, and I love like the headpiece and everything they've done here. I think this is going to be a really fun dungeon to actually OOB and to get out of bounds and to see what's out. Now, like I said, I did participate in the midnight beta. I was able to go into this dungeon a little bit already as with followers, and if I remember correctly, I was able to escape it already. So it was pretty, I don't want to say easy because I don't want to give away anything, but it wasn't as difficult as, let's say, some other dungeons I was trying to do. So we'll see. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how we do this. Now, the meeting stone is right over here, the summoning stone, you want to say. And then you have the entrance to the dungeon here. Now, if we were to go inside, I will show you the entrance to this dungeon here. You actually head down the hallway here, and you would go into the room in here, and this is where you would enter the dungeon. So really cool. You know, I'm hoping to explore this place a lot more, but that's definitely going to be my number 3 pick. Okay, coming to my second pick, I am very excited, and I'm going to pick a couple raids to end the video here. For my second pick, I'm going to be going with the I'm gonna say you know what, I want to say the Void Spire, just because this sounds like really fun. Or I don't know, you know, I'm caught between the Dream Rift and the Void Spire. The Dream Rift looks a lot smaller because it looks like there's only one boss, quote unquote, that we know of. But the Dream Rift is going to be really neat because it seems to take a piece of the, you know, obviously not the, well, maybe the Emerald Dream. I don't know the lore on this place, but it reminds me a lot of the Emerald Dream, and maybe that's exactly what's happening here. For people that want to correct me with lore, what is the Dream Rift about? I haven't really read up on it too much, but I am excited to OOB it. And then the other one I'm excited for is definitely the Void Spire, just because it looks really cool, and it's located over here in the Void Storm, which is way out here in the distance. And you got the Void Scar Arena. You also got the Nexus Point Xenos, and then you have the Void Spire raid. But I'm excited for the Void Spire raid for sure. Okay, we're going to continue the video from here. Now, my last pick on this video, and the most excited one that I'm excited to potentially out of bounds or OOB, is going to be the expansion name, which is Midnight. Now, something you may notice, if you go into the adventure guide and you go into the raids, there is a raid here called Midnight. That's what it's called, right? Based after the expansion. But something you'll notice is you can't actually see the map or the preview of the dungeon or raid itself. Sorry, I should say the raid. You can't actually see the dungeon. So my guess is this actually going to be the last raid release for the expansion, and that's going to kind of wrap up everything, is my guess. Because why are they keeping that one the most secret? There's obviously a place that you're going to be taken to in the expansion that we're not able to see yet. Now, this is just my speculation. I don't know that for 100%. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm excited for midnight just as much as you guys. I'm gonna hopefully bring you guys a bunch of midnight content coming up. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope you're excited for the expansion as much as I am. And for those of you guys that don't know, I'm gonna be saying this the next coming months over this next year. I'm gonna be going to BlizzCon 2026 coming up in Anaheim in September, and I will be participating there for the few days that it's gonna be taking place. I'm excited to go to meet people and to see the event. I've never been to one. I don't know. I've never actually, never been to a midnight expansion. Never been to a BlizzCon before, so it's gonna be my first time. And if you happen to be at BlizzCon this year, or you're gonna be in the Anaheim area and you want to stop by, I would love to say hi to you. If you're coming from the Discord community, from the YouTube channel, it would just be fun to meet people. And but if you can't make it this year, obviously I understand. And hopefully I can give you guys some live footage from the event and just things that they're going to talk about. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm actually bringing my younger brother along, and it's going to be a good time. So if you're going to be there, I would love to meet you. If not, I understand. So anyways, guys, thank you for joining me on this adventure and this video. I know we're almost close to midnight, and I will see you guys in a few days for the early release. And as always, guys, my name is Nathan. Hope you have a good night. Take care.